I'm the director of sales, luxury sales for the Waldorf Astoria in New York, in Manhattan. So
I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes, little tiny building just show up yesterday.
Been around for a few
It's
years.
been around a bit. Would you?
Hello everyone, and I'm Caroline Mathey. I am the director of sales as well, but for the Carlton in Cannes, another tiny hotel. Thank you. And I work there for 26 years already. So whatever you need, I'll always be happy to assist. And now,
Good afternoon, everyone.
We can't hear you.
Talk. Test, hello.
there you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shay Mills. I am the Director of Luxury Sales at another not-so-well-known hotel, the St. Regis, New York.
And my name is Julie Danziger. I'm not on the hotel side. I'm actually on the advisor side of the business. I have a company called Embark. We're based right here in New York and in Brazil. And I have the pleasure of working with all of these folks for a very long time now. So this should be a nice, fun, fruitful, healthy conversation. Also, would love for all of you to think over while we're having this hopefully great conversation, would love for all of you to think of any questions or anything that you might want to ask these folks, because you've got them at your fingertips right here. And so we'll get to you guys hopefully soon. We're gonna get the panel started because we also want to be mindful of the time. So I want to thank everyone for choosing to be here. I know that you were all incredibly busy. You've got a lot going on. There's a lot of great folks out there to meet, and you guys have taken the time and to join us and sit down and hear what these folks have to say. This is not going to be a typical panel where you hear about rates and availability and dollars and cents, which is all incredibly important because we all are here to make money and hopefully a lot of it. But what we really want to focus on now is the relationships and how they're built and what makes for the strongest hotel advisor and partner relationships, and how you can create and build a very strong trust, because that to me, and I think a lot of you in this room, is going to come before all the great rates and programs and amenities. Is you need to build that trust and that loyalty in order to get to that. And on top of that, it also folds into how the customer is treated when they get to the properties. And if the customer is treated great and they have an amazing experience, they call you again. So we're going to focus more about those relationships and what makes them strong and amazing. So I'm gonna kick it off with a question, and for those of you guys on the panel, please definitely chime in, and we can kind of go around, hopefully flow nicely, and then we'll get to you guys if you have some questions or comments or anything, that you can put them on the spot, make them nervous. So when you think about the advisors that you consider true partners, and advisors, companies, hosts, agencies, whatever the case may be, what separates them from someone who's just booking business? Is it production? Is it a relationship? How do you know when you want to invest your time into building a long-term relationship with an individual and go from there? So, how can an advisor really stand out in a nutshell?
I would say that for me, it's really those advisors that will invest in the relationship, as well as in the booking, of course, but also in the relationship. It's very important for us to be understand and to understand exactly as well what is needed on the other side. So it's really a kind of partnership that can be developed. It's not necessarily with the long term, most of the time it is, but not only. It could be at the first booking, for example, or at the second one. It could be very quick, but this is the way we go further into the relationship, how we invest, or how the travel advisor will invest himself to know a little bit more about the positioning, about everything.
So basically it's kind of like an arranged marriage. We're being put together we're going to be spending the rest of our lives together, but we better get to know each other if this is going to last, right?
Absolutely. That's
All right, I got you. Sheen, what about you?
I mean, I would say, you know, at the end of the day, I agree with Caroline in the sense that it's really important, especially for me, I've only been doing leisure sales for 4 years, but it's important to just establish a relationship with you, and even if you're not going to be booking the hotel every day, every week, every month, because we know there's a different hotel for every different client, you know, St. Regis is very particular, might not be like Kinamon or something like that, for example, but if you take the time to really, you know, even get me on the phone, I know like a lot of Gen Zers don't necessarily like that, I still like that, I'm a millennial, but if you want to get on the phone, have a conversation, you know, tell me about your clients, why they're staying, not just do like a typical, like, quick, like, hey, nice to see you, this is my booking, take great care of them. If you actually take the time and the effort to tell us why you're putting the client there and invest in the relationship with us, you'll get everything back tenfold, upgrades, etc.
David, do you have anything to add to that?
I do. Trust. So, we keep using the word partnership all the time. Everybody talks about partnership, but what does it really mean? We need to spend more time with you. We need to understand exactly what is important for you. Your time is money. Our time is money too. So when we think about relationships, we think, how can we help you make more money out of this? Not only we want to spend time with you, but we're also going to make this time worth it. So when you think about building a relationship, it does start with trust. Like Caroline and Shane mentioned, we need to get to know each other. You know, I hate when we just go through the professional side of it. When we build these bonds, it becomes personal. We know each other. And in reality, if you think about your friends, you never like to let down your friends. And it operates the same way with luxury hotels and our travel advisors. When you build that bond with you, we don't want to let you down. You're friends now. We want to make you make the most money. We want to make your clients happy, but it starts here.
Now, that's a great point. Now, do you guys believe that if someone doesn't, you know, we hear it all the time. I'd love to have a conversation. I'd love to build a relationship. I just don't have the time. Fortunately, the bookings are coming in fast. The clients are coming in, but do you guys feel that if someone doesn't take those extra few minutes and the extra time to build the relationship, they could potentially be underselling their client and then maybe lose out on opportunities, on financial opportunities, because they're just being too brief. Do you guys feel that way? And are there any examples you can give that might, you know, on either way? I go of an example of how a relationship backfired due to that, or was you know, worked out well because of that?
Let me give you context. Imagine a luxury hotel, medium size. Medium size, you have 100, 150 arrivals a day. So that's 150 families arriving in a luxury hotel every day. How do we prioritize your clients if we only get an email from you saying, my client is arriving, doesn't need much, make sure he's got a great stay? That gives us nothing. When you come to us and say, hey, I took 5 minutes of my time, this is what my client loves. He loves this, he loves that. We will make you look like superstars. Our main job is making you look good with your clients. The more you over-communicate with us, the more we make you look like superstars. And trust me, we love making you look good. Because then you're going to feel, you know what? David, Caroline, and Shane are actually taking care of me and then my clients. So this over-communication makes us all look great. So think all about this, always macro view of the business. It's not only your client arriving today. It's going to be another 100. So when you build that relationship with us, your client goes on that priority list that we want to make sure that we accommodate and everything is perfect. If there's something we can do even further, we'll go the extra mile for it because now we have a relationship. Does that make sense to you guys?
Totally agree with that. With the relationship, with the time that you will spend in the email or in the phone call that you will give us to explain exactly who is your client, why is he a VIP for you? Because, you know, when I receive sometimes many emails along the season, for example, from the same travel advisor, but every email is like, okay, this is my VIP client, this is my VIP, okay, each of them, and that's good, and I believe it. But if you tell me why this client is your VIP, who is it for you, how important it is, and for which reason. Give me a context. Give me a context, so then I can also prioritize. I can help you. I can make you shine, exactly as David said. It's really, really important for us. And it's not only about the VIP status of the client, but it's also about the reason of his stay. Why he wants to come to my hotel, for example, in Cannes, or is it the right choice, the right fit? We can really help you, and then internally at the hotel we can also tailor-made, and we create, that's the way we should work as a team. We are a real team with the same objective, to create memorable moments and souvenir memories for our clients. And that's why they will come back to you, to us, and this is only thanks to the relationship that we will be able to create between us.
Yeah, and also that brings me to a question for any of you, because all three of your properties are high-level properties where, let's be real, everybody thinks that they're a VIP. Everyone thinks that they're the most important guest. So how do you differentiate between the clients and the advisors, and how do you prioritize it? And this could go, I mean, this is a hot question for everyone. Do you prioritize like, oh, they're a Centurion member? Do you prioritize like a loyalty program? Do you prioritize certain, agencies, the relationship? So how does the relationship factor into how you, are you smiling because you're like, shit, I don't know how to answer this question.
She's gonna get us all in trouble.
But like how do you guys prioritize, this is an off-script question, sorry. Who the actual VIPs are, and does the relationship that you're building with the folks in this room, how much weight does it actually carry? Because let's be real, everyone's a VIP, everyone's checking in, everyone's the most important person in the world, but really they're not, but they think they are. How do you differentiate? Shane, go ahead.
So I have a lot of opinions on this, actually.
Do you want a drink? Should we go? I thought they have good tequila out there.
I actually have a personal war on the letters VIP. Because especially you guys know in New York City, if you make everything special, nothing is special. If you make everyone special, then no one is special. But then this is why, it goes back to what Caroline and David were saying, this is why we need to know why your clients are VIP. Is it their first day with you and you're turning them over from an Amex client and you need to show them why they're better off working with you than going through their Centurion advisor who knows absolutely nothing about them except maybe their ETA? Is it someone's children's first trip to New York City and they're going to FAO Schwartz and doing the little carriage ride around Central Park and we need to make it really magical? Is it someone who's graduating college and they got into an art program, or they're displaying their art at a gallery in New York City for the first time? Like, these are the details that really help us help you make their stay absolutely exceptional. And if you give us the absolute bare minimum, we can't really do anything with that. So the more information that we get, the better that it is. And then that's also where the relationships come into play, right? If I have a better relationship with you, that's how I'm going to prioritize those clients. I mean, if there's anyone who's working for Amex, you won't hear this
So
from me.
we shouldn't just write VVVIP?
Got it.
Okay, got it. All right, just checking. I'm just making sure, because I do that. I do it sometimes. Sorry.
I mean, for you, I do
Probably
it.
shouldn't. Okay. I put a smiley face, that's also why.
We like smiley faces on it.
Right,
I
yeah.
think one of the ways to prioritize, and you're right, if everybody's a VIP, then nobody's a VIP kind of thing. Now, we need to give context to this. Maybe your client, we look at your booking and there's, maybe that's going to be higher level of VIPs, but maybe that client has booked with you maybe $1 million this year. So it is a very important client for you. So it also helps us when you give us more information. Now, we personally, I'm going to get in trouble with this, but it's fine. It's fine.
Why, are you giving a comp night to everybody in this room?
I've got
It's like
it.
you're an Oprah, it's under the chair. It's under the chair.
Right? I'm going to appease. I like to highlight people that I like to work with. Simple, right? Relationship. If I have a travel advisor that I really like to work, for me that client that is going to bring is my VIP. That's it. Because you do the same. You work with certain hotels because you like the people that you work with in those hotels. Your partners, your friends, they don't let you down, they upgrade your clients. So we do the same. So we build relationships with you, and tomorrow Eli is going to come and say, hey David, I have a client for you or Jessica. I'm going to be like, hey, top of the list. Because I like working with them. they're nice to us. And
So we have
Right.
on our Credo card that we give out to everyone. We have our one of our brand standards is people do business with people, not products. And that's one of our mottos that we live with every single day. And you're hearing it from these guys. So I mean, it's not from me. It's from these guys who run some of the most prestigious hotels in the world. And I mean, anything else you guys have to add?
I just totally agree as well with David and Shane, and that's what I said as well. The relationship, we have to prioritize in a way. So the relationship will make the difference. I'm talking about Centurion, for example. There is not really the same relationship, so that's good for you guys.
So we're talking about a lot of the do's. What about some of the don'ts? I'd love to hear from you guys. What are some of the mistakes that advisors can make? I know you're like jumping out of your seat. He's like, I'm ready. I have the answer ready. What are some of the mistakes or some of the misses that a client could make or an advisor could make to that could work against them? So this way, we know what the do's are. Do build a relationship. Do spend time with people. What about the don'ts? Because sometimes you might think they're super obvious, but maybe they're not. I see you're jumping out of your seat, so go ahead.
I'm gonna get in trouble again, but that's fine. There's no general managers in this room today? Is there any? Okay, good, and I can go with this. I would tell to my GM anyway, because he knows my opinion. I hate when we receive emails from our travel advisors to us, requesting something for their clients, and they copy our general managers. Feels like you are in school, and you're getting, let me copy the principal to make sure you're doing a good job. It's like, we don't need, this is a fun secret for you from this side of the business. We don't need you to copy the GM. You know what's going to happen? Let me break down how a luxury hotel operates. Our general managers, think again, 150 arrivals that day. Our general managers are so busy making sure the operation is perfect. Every client is happy. All the outlets and restaurants in the hotel are performing perfectly. So when you copy our general manager, what's going to happen is, and I dare my colleagues to say something different. The general manager is copied, then he's going to send us back an email saying, you got this, right? It's like, yeah, I got this. Don't worry, another day, it's fine. So it doesn't bring anything. We will always highlight your bookings, we'll always highlight you. But when you copy our general managers, it makes it feel like, so I'm not doing enough job that you need to copy my boss. I'd say, I got you, I'm going to take care of you. And I'll tell you another secret. Then when you start asking even more stuff, because you copy my general manager, who do you think is supposed to answer you? I'm not going to help you. You copy my boss, but my boss takes half of his day, because he's very busy, to try to help you. But when you send this to us and say, hey David, I need this, we got you. We're going to go all the extra mile. There's nothing wrong, that's my point. There's nothing wrong. This is a big TED talk for me, the copying GMs. It's like, we're copying you folks and we're copying your bosses in the agencies. I want to make sure you're doing a good job, I'm just copying your boss. But I trust you, I'm just copying your boss. It makes no sense. It's luxury hospitality. If something is not going right, copy our general managers as much as you wish. But at least if you were building a relationship 101, then build that relationship 101. I hope that makes sense. I don't know, it's a bit controversial.
No, I totally understand.
You're more diplomatic than me.
I try.
Your French and Portuguese is very different.
That's right. Now, for me, I would say there are two things. One thing, it's the email that we'll receive, once again, without context. I'm coming back to the context, but for me, it's really, really, truly important. I really want to invest myself to help you. Once again, I want to work with you as a team. So if you do not give me any context, I understand it takes more time. But it's so important for you, for your client, for me, because all of us, we can win. It's really a win-win situation thanks to the context. The second thing I wanted to talk about sometimes as well, it's just the respect that needs to be here between all of us. I mean, travel advisor, hoteliers. Once again, we're all working in the same way, with the same objective, the same goal. You have challenges probably to face with agency, with the clients. We have other challenges as well with the hotel, with the operations. So it's important to try to take that into consideration from both sides, to try to understand each other, even if we don't exactly know what are the challenges behind, but try to take into consideration that there might have and there might be challenges, and even knowing that, always be respectful of each other. That's also something very, very important. And I know we're all busy, I know we don't have time, I know, but it's important, once again, for the relationship as well, and the relationship brings everything else behind.
And the third point I'll add to that as well is this is kind of a personal thing, but it's don't be mean to your salespeople. Especially, again, going back to the relationships, I take everything personally as well, because if you think about it, like we said earlier, we're here to help you. We are your partners. And if something goes wrong with your client, as it inevitably will, no one's perfect, it's really not a great look if you come to us yelling, screaming on the phone. Chances are there's a 99% chance that we already know that something's wrong and we're in the middle of fixing it. So yelling and being rude is not going to help, because at the end of the day, like I said, we're your partners, right? Like, we want to make you look good. We want to make you shine. We want to make everything right. And trust us when I say that we are in this together. We are not against you. You know, we want to make your client as happy as possible and make you look like a superstar.
Okay, that's some good stuff, guys. I know, you had a lot to share over there. Relationships that have been successful between you guys and an advisor, and it grew significantly, maybe over the years or over even the last couple of weeks. You know, what drove the change? You know, you might know someone for 10 years or working with them for 10 years. So a lot of folks in this room, maybe you actively work with them, but maybe you guys are thinking, maybe I could change something, or did I screw up this relationship already? How can I, you know, what were some of those factors that took it to the next level, that set the advisor aside from not only everyone else, but also from maybe who you thought they were because you met them and it was you didn't have a great first impression of one another? Like what drove it into a more positive direction? Are there any examples, or anything you could think of? You don't have to say the name of an advisor, but even a story or something that you could feel comfortable sharing.
I've got a story if you want, and I think it's really appropriate today, especially here. So I worked with an advisor that was maybe the second or third booking that he sent me. That was quite a huge booking. It was actually 2.5 years ago. And it was for two families living here in the area who wanted to come to the Carlton, to Cannes.
Everybody wants to come to Carlton.
Yeah, thank you. But especially for a very specific occasion, they wanted to come to celebrate the Sukkot.
Sukkot, you got it.
Yeah. And so, of course, I was not that familiar at that time with everything. So we discussed together with the travel advisor. He told me exactly what were the expectations of the client, what they were looking for, So I took all the information and I talked to all the teams, operational teams at the hotel. What can we do? How can we make it happen? And we worked on that file maybe for 3 or 4 months together to make it happen, because that was not something that we were used to do at the Carlton. And for him, that was something difficult as well to handle, being here in New York and not on site. So our relationship, of course, grew during those 3 months. And then the clients came to the Carlton. Everything happened. We built a Sukkot. I would have never thought that we could have done that at the Carlton, but we did it. The two families were here. There were 30 of them. They enjoyed the best 10 days of their life. Actually, they are coming back for the same occasion this year on the 24th September. So that was a great achievement, thanks to a teamwork. And I'm telling you that because this specific event, this specific booking, led me to really launch the kosher offer at the Carlton. Without that, I'm not sure I would have thought about it, but I really loved the way we worked together. I really loved that the clients were so impressed about their stay, about the experience that we were able together to build for them, that it led me really once again to bring that into life and to go further and to launch this kosher offer.
That's awesome, and I love that story because, especially with we're all here because you guys have a keen interest in selling or travel for kosher clients, and I've been in this business for a little over 20 years, and in the early stages of the business, it wasn't something that was very much understood, and it was even rejected by a lot of hotels where it's like, oh no, kosher, we can't help with that, we can't handle that. And I do truly believe it was because people like you all in this room, I mean, not you guys specifically, but they weren't taking the time to explain it and educate it and speak to the properties where you can also justify it as a very, very strong opportunity for amazing business. And once I think the properties saw, hey, this is a great opportunity, but I wasn't rejecting it because we can't do it, it was because I didn't understand it. And the fact that these clients, when this advisor came and explained it to you and took the time and educated you, which Sukkot, that's like not the most common holiday.
I knew Pesach.
I mean, it's not like, everyone knows Passover, but who knows Sukkot? It's like,
that's it.
Right?
Now I know.
So
and I know all the rules, and it doesn't.
You're building a sukkah this year, right?
Yeah. And the good thing, we are doing it again. But the good thing, just to add one thing, is that since we launched the kosher offer, and I have a relationship with many advisors here in this room and in New York area, and they are so helpful and supportive. They know that I'm not Jewish, so I don't have the knowledge of all the traditions and the rules, and they are always here to help, always available. I can call them anytime for any question, or if I don't understand this or that, they will always be available, and I really feel the support. And I have to say, since this morning, that I was here at the table number 20, I had the best time. That's one of the best shows I've ever done because everybody is so, I can feel the warm atmosphere.
That's major.
And I really would like to thank you for that.
All right, Bob, that's major people guys. But so just to kind of close out what I was saying with that is it's not just that advisor and that client took the time to build a relationship and explain it and then show you how it could be such a great opportunity. You wanted to do it and then you did it and you're like, hey, I want more. It's benefiting now everyone else in the room. It's benefiting others that have that clientele. It's opening up doors. So it's not only about what you could potentially do for yourselves and your own clients, but what you can do for the kosher community as a whole. If you can make it more welcoming and open and understanding, and I see others in here also. You guys, I see Karime from Aman Hotels also. They opened up a kosher kitchen, and sure enough, it's not big enough. Should have called me, by the way. But there's a lot of opportunity with the kosher market and building relationships because you're not just building them for yourselves and your clients, but for everyone that has a keen interest in the type of travel because it's also for high-end customers. You're opening up doors and opportunities for everyone else. And if everyone pitches in and works, builds those relationships with folks, then it could really help the industry as a whole and have more opportunities for destinations.
Totally.
Anyone else have any other stories before I kind of go with a couple of hot questions for you guys? Because you guys live in a city where you got plenty of kosher opportunities and restaurants, so But okay, best way to get your attention.
Show me your engagement. Ask questions. Ask the right questions, ask as many questions as you want. There's no such thing as a bad question. Just show your interest in myself, my property, what your clients are interested. That will put you to the very top of the radar.
And it doesn't only, and I'm going to go to you in a second, it doesn't only put you to the top of the radar with, let's say, Shane in the St. Regis, New York, fabulous hotel, by the way, but Shane's here now, but maybe he's going to be in another position, or maybe he's going to grow. We know, I know that we were working together in another property just a year ago, right? You never know where people are going to be and where it's going to bring them. So, maybe they'll be with that same property for 26 years, or maybe there's going to be other opportunities. So you're building a relationship with an individual, because then you're not only getting the opportunity with that particular property, but you're opening it up for other properties, maybe others in the portfolio, maybe other St. Regis hotels where you could say, oh, call Shane, I did it with Shane in New York. He'll help explain it at your other properties, so you can be an advocate there.
Yes, and I always say the luxury circle is so small. It's like the higher you get, the smaller your circle gets. And just as much as you guys talk all amongst each other, we talk amongst each other as well. So who's not just saying, like, 5 years from now I might jump over to Hilton or IHG. But at the end of the day, we all see each other at the same shows. We all say hi to each other. We're all friends for the most part, I think.
Depends on the day.
It depends on the day. But we all talk to each other just as much as you all do. So we know who the great people are and who the not so great people are.
If you want to jump to Hilton, we would gladly have you, Shane, whenever you need to come back to our side. I think it comes from that trust, right? We do speak among each other, and to get our attention, just be nice to us, be kind. Sometimes we're talking about luxury hospitality, and sometimes not everybody's super nice, or why not? We're trying to make sure your clients are happy. We want to make sure you're happy. Just be nice to us, just treat us as human beings. I know it comes across like, oh, but David, that's standard. You would be surprised. Not as standard as you should be. Just be kind and be gentle with us, and you'll have everything from us. That for us is the way kind of to do luxury hospitality, really.
Totally, I agree once again with both of you, and engagement, trust, respect once again, I think those are the key words.
Before, I can keep going, continuing on, but I'd love to open it up to the audience in case you guys had a question or something that you would love to share or bring up to these folks over here. You've got their ear, they've got the microphone. Anyone have anything? And if not, and it is radio silence, I'm totally comfortable with awkward silences. And if not, we got, okay. Anyone get a microphone?
Thank you. First of all, I'm really amazed by the talent that's on the stage over here. Just to give a round of applause for everybody. Really, JETCON has the best of the best in the industry. I think I want to say something more to the advisor community as opposed to a question. And that is, how do the advisors deal with an issue that's going on at the hotel? And that wasn't addressed, but we all know sometimes, there are issues. Very much on the topic of what we were speaking about, relationships. You have to realize, as a travel agency, that the people on the other side of the table, they're here to help you, and they need to be dealt with respect, okay? Things happen, we all know that things happen. Don't go after them with anger and like the world is coming to an end because a client is there at 6 o'clock at night and his room isn't ready. Relax. Present the problem. You're allowed to say the frustration. But first thing is you want to do is work with your partners to recover, right? Yelling at them is not going to help. It's going to create frustration, and they're not going to want to help you. But if you come to them and explain to them the issue and perhaps some disappointment, worry about the recovery. Let's fix the problem. Let's take care of it. Not a big deal. I'll deal with the client. You deal with your staff. And after that, you can work on what we'll call the fix, right? How do we make the client happy? So first is deal with them with respect, then recover, and then work on the fix. And if anybody up here wants to reply to that, that's just my thoughts.
No, that was a great comment. I totally agree with you, and I will add something because sometimes, there are some situations where things can be a little bit wrong, let's say, but there are also, and most of the time, many times where the clients are happy. They're happy after their stay, they're happy because of our common work, and sometimes that would be great after the client's departure to get back some news from the agents and that we could exchange together about the feedback from the client, because sometimes we work together, we prepare that, it takes time, we enjoy working together as well, because that's really what it is, an enjoyment. We make it happen, the client is super happy, so we got the feedback from the client when he's at the hotel, and that's great. But what would be great as well is that when the client go back to the travel advisor and tells him that, like, oh, it was super, thank you, Lana, that could be great as well to get that feedback from the travel advisor, and that we can, I don't know, congratulate ourselves mutually, you know, for the good work that has been done. And maybe I'm missing that a little bit, no? What about you? So,
You're right.
yeah.
I think a great relationship starts with recovery. When everything goes right, it's perfect, there's not much more communication. But to Eli's point, is the recovery point is the most fundamental piece for guest satisfaction. Mistakes will always happen. There's no luxury hotel in the world that is 100% guest satisfaction all the time. Because we deal with human beings on both sides. So the human component is prone to mistakes. So mistakes are always going to happen in a luxury hotel. But how do you recover? How do you build a relationship and say, hey, how do we fix it together? And that's the bond that builds once you're able to successfully recover your clients together with your travel advisors. That makes the next couple of bookings easier. Because now you have a bond. Now you have a relationship. Now you know exactly what the clients need. And you know, I think that's fundamental to your point, Eli, and to your points. Recovery. Recovery is one of the most important points in guest satisfaction.
Okay. Did we have another question? Go ahead.
Thank you. It's really a privilege as an advisor with a lot of kosher clients to give them the opportunity and proposals for the wonderful hotels. Thank you. My question to you is, I think we all agree about, you know, building a relationship. What is the best way on your end for us to build that? Is it through a telephone call? Is it through email? Is it through WhatsApp? Like, what are you comfortable with advisors? How do you want us to reach out to you?
I'll tell you this, not a joke. I don't know if he's here. Sam Lieberman is not here. Where's our Sam? Okay, I can talk about them since he's not here. It's even better. I'll tell you that Sam will text you or WhatsApp you whenever time he needs to WhatsApp you that the clients are arriving in an hour. So in our side, if we want to make a full, honest relationship with you, we'll be available the way you feel it's comfortable for you. For us, it's partnership, right? So you'll text, you will email, call. We're here to support you. So we will ask you what is your favorite way to communicate with us. But honestly, it's whatever is faster for you, at least from our side at the Waldorf in New York. My WhatsApp, I only have a phone. I don't believe in two phones. I don't split between personal and professional. I also married in the industry. My wife is a travel advisor, so you can see that our conversations at home are quite about the same subject. But that's the reality. So we should be always available whenever your clients or whenever you need something from us. At least on our side, it's very personal, so I don't want to speak for it.
No, I agree, 100%. I just have one telephone as well, no personal, no professional, so you can reach me whenever. The only thing for me, it's the time difference, of course. I'm based in Europe, so I might not take your call if it's 3 a.m. for me. However, if you send me a WhatsApp, email, or whatever, I will always get back to you, even if I am traveling, because I travel a lot for work, of course. I'm always following the bookings anyway. Even if I'm on a holiday, on weekend, or whatever, you will always be with me, really.
So unfortunately, I am part of the two phones crew, but that's not by choice.
Baby steps, baby steps.
It's by design because Mary requires that. But especially for those of you that aren't in New York City, or even are in New York City rather, I always like if you have the time once you send a client, you get on the phone with me. Again, it only takes about 5 minutes or so. We just have a really nice conversation. I still like phone calls. I know, like I said earlier, I think people kind of think they're old school, but again, if you're not physically here, I think it gives us a better opportunity to bond, hear each other's voices, because there's something about having a conversation with someone that you can't get. You lose a lot of the tone, for example, when you're like going over email or going over WhatsApp. Now, again, that's not to say I don't use both of those, because I do. Both of my phones are always on. They're always next to each other. I never have one without the other. But I think it's just like the art of that conversation, establishing that relationship at the beginning is what really gets everything going.
Is there a such thing as too much communication? And when advisors are communicating with you preferences or information, what's the most relevant information for you to receive out of the gate? And then what's overkill, if there is overkill on information? Because sometimes we catch ourselves sending emails and saying, here's all the preferences of the client and information of the client, and then we could feel maybe it's overwhelming for you, or maybe it's TMI. What are the key items? Like if you had to pick 3 things that you really would love to know about a customer, communicated from the folks in this room here, and is there such thing as overkill? You want to take that one?
Maybe I would one of the maybe if it's 3 things, let's do one each. For me, I would say what I would like to know if we were talking about the VIP status. Say why. Tell me why. Who is that client for you, for your agency, and why is he VIP at this or this or this level, and the reason why he's coming there. That's so important, because that will change the whole offer and the whole offer.
Okay, that's good. So why are they visiting, and why are they so important to you? David?
I think for us, when you have a very busy hotel, arrival time is fundamental. And so we can organize ourselves internally. You tell us when your client is arriving, we can make sure that we prioritize as he needs to prioritize. Your clients don't have to wait for check-in. It gives us that little nook of information to set up the expectations, again, with our internal teams. Again, I want to build macro to micro. 150 arrivals in a day. You don't tell us when your client is arriving, somebody will. So we're going to start prioritizing to make sure who arrives first so we can have the rooms. You need an early arrival? Tell us. Most of the times, another great secret, not so secret, we love to provide you early arrivals if we can. We're not trying not to give you early arrivals for your clients, but if you tell us when they're arriving, we'll make sure to, if possible, we'll make it happen. Because it doesn't cost us that much anyway. We're going to have to clean the rooms earlier anyway. So the more you give us that information, the more we can set you up for success.
Sure.
And my point is actually something that Julie mentioned when we were at Embark Immersion 2 weeks ago. So aside from your clients' likes, we also need to know their dislikes. And I actually started implementing that in my emails. I wasn't just saying, what's your ETA, what are your preferences? I say, what are your likes/dislikes? At the end of the day, we know, let's say we know they like whiskey, we know they like fresh fruit, what have you, but we also need to know what they don't like so we can avoid it. For example, this actually just happened to me yesterday. A client was emailing saying their guest's flight was changed and they're now going to be coming in, now this morning, and she was asking what kind of amenity we set up. So my coordinator responded and so we had, and she's like, I'm actually so glad that we connected on this, because my client actually doesn't like sweets or sparkling water. We were sending the macaroons, like a macaroon tower and sparkling water. She's like, actually, he really likes Bavarian pretzels. Lo and behold, we were able to understand that. Now it goes into his permanent profile, and we change it and have the kitchen deliver a Bavarian pretzel with honey mustard. So it's those little touches that, again, help us help you.
Nice. Yeah, that's the reason why we talk about that a lot is I tend personally, and I think everyone in this room has been to a hotel where you yourself have come to the hotel and gotten this beautiful welcome bottle of champagne. And you look at it and it's like, that's pretty. And I personally, you can write this down, I really don't love champagne, so I'd rather a bottle of water. So, sometimes it's not, like Shane's saying, it's not about what they like, it's also about what they don't like, because people will also ask, what are your dietary restrictions? And it's easy to share a dietary restriction or an allergy, but you never asked me if I like salmon, so by sharing those dislikes, it actually can help them get more creative with what you can do. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I don't know how much more time we have. Okay, so I'm gonna just give the audience one more opportunity in case you have anything you want to bring up in a public setting, but if not, then these guys are here. They're taking the time, they made the investment to leave their properties during a very busy time for everyone. Maybe some more than others.
In Cannes right now,
slightly, it's a little busy in Cannes right now, just a little. But they're taking their time to hear. They want to invest their time in getting to know you and your business and what you're selling. And it's a very unique, specific conference, so they wouldn't be here if they weren't genuinely interested in building a relationship with you guys here. So take that opportunity, and if you're not going to answer a question now, pull them aside, ask them a question, get to know them. But when everyone's in this room getting to know you, is there one quality that can make someone feel like a long-term partner? I heard a lot of different words, but I'm not going to put words into your mouth. Pick one quality that you could feel like this person is going to be long-term. I got them. I will do whatever they need whenever they need it. Even if it's something that comes to mind. Anyone wanna?
Just one word is.
All right, you don't have to give one word.
So engagement.
If I can see you do you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, if I can see the engagement, I am very engaged. If I can see that the travel advisor in front of me is the same, I'm sure we'll do a great job together, and that's something exciting for me.
So be engaged and build a personal relationship, not just a business deal.
No.
So yes, we all want to close the deal, but it's not just about let's close the deal, let's do business, I'll see you later. It's really building that personal connection, okay, and having that engagement.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, taking the time. So you're here now to attend events, attend conferences, get to know people. It's healthy, it's good. It'll get you guys to know each other a lot better. David?
Personal, to your point. I love getting to know who our travel advisors are behind being a travel advisor. And the same with the other side. If we're to build a relationship, you should feel like I want to know who David, Sean, Caroline are behind being luxury hoteliers. Who are they as people? Once you build that personal relationship, again, you get everything from us. Now we are friends, now there's a relationship. There will be a maximum output of this relationship. You'll make money, we're gonna make money, we're all gonna be happy, your clients are gonna be happy, because now we're vouch for you to be successful. Because in a relationship, you never wanna let down your friends, right? So that's how that relationship becomes. So ask questions behind who are you as a professional, who are we, because we're also people, right? We're in the people business. There's more than just the professional side of this. We have a life besides hospitality. So building that personal relationship makes you really get everything from a professional point of view.
And some of it is not that intense. It doesn't have to be that complicated. You don't have to become, no offense, I love you guys, you don't have to become best friends and go shopping together.
You are best friends.
I know, but I'm just saying, you don't have to go shopping together or go to the World Cup together in semifinals maybe. But you don't have, US Open together, right? You don't have to do so much. That's great if you can, but some of you guys you've got your business and your families, and maybe you don't have the time to invest into that many relationships. It's just do one thing. And it just, as long as it comes off genuine and you're doing one thing, you're picking up the phone and calling Shane because he clearly doesn't like emails. Call one of his phones, not both of his phones. You're just, asking David a simple question of how is your day going? It's just one simple thing. It doesn't have to be too intense. So I don't want anyone to feel like you have to panic that now you just have to make 1,000 new best friends. It's just some of these things that are very simple and genuine. Be human, be honest, be yourself, And yourself doesn't have to be this bubbly personality. It could just be someone that genuinely cares, right? Shane?
And that's why I was going to bring it around and say my quality or word would be just respectful, be respectful of each other, be respectful of each other's time, and just, again, understanding that we all want what's best for each other, because at the end of the day, that's, you know, our relationship is so symbiotic that that's how we work together, and that's how we make each other just really shine.
Well, thank you. All right, so I think we might be running out of time, and you guys have a lot of, oh, we got a question. Oh, of course, Karime wants to say something. She can't keep quiet, no offense. Go ahead.
Hi everyone. I'm not an advisor. I'm here representing a man, and I think it's for me it's very important. First of all, WhatsApp is the best way to catch me 24 hours a day. Okay, WhatsApp. For those of you that know me very well, an email will do, but if I'm watching TV on a Sunday at 7 p.m. with my husband, I'm not looking at emails. But I will see you WhatsApp. If it's an emergency, only, okay? From my side, you know, I used to be a travel advisor 25 years, so I've been in your seat, and I understand what relationships with suppliers, hotels mean. For me, it's very important for you to know that you are an extension of my team. You trust in your client with me, you trust in your client with my brand, right? If something happens, anything that happens, because we're all humans, like we just stated here, I see you as part of my team. I want you to defend me with your client, because not all clients are easy to manage, as we know. So I'm trusting that Joey is gonna know his clients very well, their attitude, behaviors, right? Their characters. So I'm relying that he's gonna help me recover. Sometimes I don't feel that way. I feel that all the pressure comes into us, and that we have to resolve everything, that it was our mistake. But you know, there is always two stories: the property story and the client story. So at the property level, and my colleagues will attest, we document everything that the client does. Okay, everything. The staff documents, okay, we did the housekeeping, he didn't like this, we changed this. So please keep in mind that we see you as a partner. We trust that you're gonna help us resolve the problems. That's how we build relationships, right? No, you giving the back on me and throwing all the pressure on me when I'm drowning and you're not helping me. So I'm counting on you that you're gonna help me manage the client. I'm here to support you to the best of the capacity, but sometimes the asks are out of limits. Sometimes some clients are crazy per se, right? So we just have to bring them down to a level where we can manage the situation in a reasonable way, which is great for you and great for me. So I just wanted to add that on. We appreciate your business, we appreciate your partnership, but most important, the trust level is the most important in our relationship in this business. So thank you.
Thank you. So trust, kindness, building a relationship, building a good rapport with one another. It's all basic. It's one-on-one. It's not even business. It's human one-on-one, right?
And profitable relationships. I hope you know that. We love giving you money in commission. I want to make sure you know that. We love that. We understand that from our side, and we want to make sure that you make the most money possible. Because from our side, you know, if you're happy, in the end, most of you are agency owners, so that's obviously a very important point for you. Rely on us. I mean, I had several discussions with some of you where we're quoting something for you and say, you know what, I think my client can pay a bit more, let's push it a bit there. And I'm like, great, I'm here to support you, get more commission out of this. So involve us on that process, because we're not here to save money on commission, if that makes sense. We're here because that's going to help you, and on that case, it's going to help us too. So help us help you make money. That makes sense to all of you, right? You're all here to make money, so the same with us.
Taking the time to build the relationships will end up prosperous for everyone and profitable for everyone in the long run. You know, as long as you're building them the right way. All right, thank you. So we appreciate everyone sticking around, everyone here. Just stay put for just one moment. Our fearless leader, Aaron, over here, just wants them to invite him onto the stage or onto the wherever you're comfortable standing. But thank you very much to the team from JETCON for inviting us out here and to speak with all of you guys. Hopefully everyone learned a little something from the experts over here. I mean, I know I've learned a lot from them. I've been working with these guys for a very long time, and everything that they're saying is they practice what they preach, and it is something that you're not just hearing from one person, you're hearing consistently across the board. So if you're not already doing it, work on building those relationships, work on growing those partnerships in the right way. And if you feel that you haven't been doing it, it's not too late. You know, pick up the phone and call and say, you know, hey, I never had a chance to thank you for that booking 6 months ago. You know, just, it's not too late. But thank you, everyone, appreciate it. And Aaron, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
I want to first say thank you to all of our panelists. It wasn't easy for them to come, taking time out of their day. Thank you to Julie. And we also, talking about relationships. Around a year ago, we decided we were going to launch the first JETCON. I get a call on my phone from someone never spoke to before. He calls me, he says, I know everyone in the hotel industry, everyone knows me, everyone likes me. You could use my name with anyone, I'll back you up. I believe in this conference, and I want this to be great. And I think he, definitely from the first day believed that this could be something, pretty special, considering what we have here today. And because of that, we wanted to present Ellie Vinitsky with the JETCON Founders Award. Just to give an idea of what it says here, it says Founders Award presented to Ellie Vinitsky, COO Silverwing Travel, recognition of the strategic leadership and contribution to the future of kosher travel.